Sergeant Mark Turner returned to his hometown of Eastwood after a long and grueling deployment in a war-torn country. His body bore the scars of battle, and his mind was heavy with the memories of those he had lost. As he disembarked from the military plane, he looked out at the familiar faces of his family, who had waited anxiously to welcome him home. His parents, his sister, and his childhood friends gathered at the tarmac, their eyes filled with a mixture of joy and concern. The journey to civilian life was about to begin, but he couldn't help but be haunted by the challenges that lay ahead. The cacophony of the battlefield was replaced by the eerie silence of the civilian world. The sounds of children playing and birds chirping seemed alien, and Mark couldn't shake the feeling that he was an outsider in his own hometown. Adjusting to this newfound tranquility was proving to be as challenging as any battle he had faced. Mark tried to settle into the quiet routine of civilian life, but it was a constant struggle. The bustling streets of Eastwood seemed a world away from the dusty roads and sandbags of his deployment. The hum of lawnmowers and the clatter of shopping carts were pale echoes of the adrenaline-pumping chaos he had grown accustomed to. He found himself waking up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, haunted by nightmares of the battlefield. The camaraderie of his fellow soldiers, the shared hardships, and the unspoken bond that only those who had served together could understand were sorely missed. Mark yearned for the structure and purpose that the military had provided him. Frustrated and struggling to cope, Mark began attending therapy sessions at the local veteran center. Dr. Sarah Anderson, a compassionate psychologist, became a guiding light in his life. With her patience and understanding, she helped him navigate the labyrinth of emotions and trauma he had accumulated during his time in the service. Dr. Anderson encouraged Mark to explore his passions and find a new sense of purpose. She recognized his resilience and strength, seeing potential in him that he had difficulty recognizing in himself. Together, they embarked on a journey of self-discovery, slowly unearthing the dreams and aspirations that had been buried under the weight of combat. One day, while strolling through the town's community center, Mark stumbled upon a flyer for a local art class designed specifically for veterans. Although he had never picked up a paintbrush before, he decided to give it a try. The act of expressing his complex emotions on canvas provided a therapeutic release he had never anticipated. The art class became a lifeline for Mark. He discovered a hidden talent, and the act of creating art allowed him to externalize his pain, his hopes, and his dreams. The vibrant colors, intricate details, and emotional brushstrokes told a story of his journey, allowing him to share his experiences in a way that words never could. Mark's path to healing was not one he had to walk alone. He began attending a support group for wounded veterans, where he met James, a former medic who had faced his own trials adjusting to civilian life. Their shared experiences forged an unbreakable bond, and they quickly became close friends. They spent countless hours sharing stories and supporting one another as they navigated the uncharted territory of life beyond the battlefield. Together, they found strength in camaraderie, sharing their struggles, and discovering the resilience that only those who had faced adversity together could understand. The support group became a sanctuary where they could openly discuss their fears, hopes, and the challenges they encountered while adapting to civilian life. As Mark's bond with James grew, he realized that he needed to confront the demons of his past. He knew that he had to pay his respects to the families of his fallen comrades, offering his condolences and sharing stories of their loved ones' heroism. Visiting the families of his fallen comrades was an emotional and difficult journey. Mark's presence brought tears, smiles, and a sense of closure for the families he met. It was a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made in the line of duty. As Mark traveled from one household to the next, he found solace and a renewed commitment to honoring the memory of his fellow soldiers. Inspired by his therapy sessions and newfound friendships, Mark decided to embark on a new mission. He joined a local nonprofit organization dedicated to helping veterans reintegrate into civilian life. By providing support, resources, and a sense of community, he hoped to make the transition smoother for others like him. Mark threw himself into this new mission with the same dedication and discipline he had shown in the military. He led support groups, organized events, and worked tirelessly to ensure that his fellow veterans received the assistance and understanding they needed. It was through this work that he found a renewed sense of purpose and the satisfaction of helping others on their journey to recovery. During one of the organization's retreats for veterans, Mark found solace in nature. The retreat took them deep into the heart of the wilderness, surrounded by towering trees, clear lakes, and pristine mountain vistas. The beauty of the great outdoors, coupled with the serenity of a campfire, allowed him to release the remaining burdens he carried from the battlefield. As he sat around the campfire, he shared stories with his fellow veterans, finding common ground and healing in the process. It was here that he met Sarah, a fellow veteran who shared his passion for the wilderness. Their connection grew as they hiked through the woods and shared their experiences, and Mark began to realize that there might be more to his journey than he had initially thought. Mark and Sarah's relationship deepened as they continued to explore the healing power of nature together. Their shared experiences brought them closer, and they found love and companionship in one another. Their connection was a source of strength, helping them navigate the challenges of civilian life and the memories of their past. Their love was a beacon of hope and renewal, proving that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could find solace and connection. They became pillars of support for each other, offering a shoulder to lean on and a hand to hold as they ventured further into their journey. Mark continued his work with the nonprofit organization, inspiring other veterans to find their own paths to recovery. He shared his story of overcoming adversity, using art, friendship, and love as stepping stones towards a brighter future. Mark and Sarah became an example of resilience and hope, showing that it was possible to rise above the scars of war and create a fulfilling life beyond the battlefield. Their tireless efforts began to bear fruit as more veterans found the support and resources they needed to transition into civilian life successfully. Mark's vision of helping his fellow veterans was becoming a reality, and he knew that he was making a difference. In an effort to further support veterans with trauma, Mark and Sarah organized an art exhibition featuring the works of veterans from all walks of life. The exhibition was a showcase of talent, resilience, and the power of self-expression. It drew attention from the community and the media, becoming a resounding success. The art exhibition became a symbol of triumph over trauma, a testament to the strength of those who had faced the horrors of war and emerged with a new sense of purpose. Mark and Sarah's commitment to helping others heal and find their creative voices had become a force of inspiration, spreading ripples of change throughout their community, as Mark and Sarah looked back on their journey from the battlefield to civilian life. They knew that the wounds might never fully heal, but they had found a way to turn their pain into strength. They decided to start a new chapter by starting a family. The birth of their child marked the beginning of a new journey, filled with hope and endless possibilities. Together, they faced the challenges of parenthood with the same resilience they had shown throughout their journey. They knew that life beyond the battlefield was a continuous process of healing and growth, and they were determined to face it hand in hand, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead.